Oh my god, I feel like I've forgotten even how to make videos and talk to a camera. But here we go. It has been a really long time since I posted a video here at home. I think it's been like 6 weeks. I've got lots of reasons / excuses for why that is. So today is kind of a life update / 2018 in review. I was determined to make sure that I got at least one video up before the end of the year. So I'm actually recording this today on New Year's Eve. So I'm down to the wire, and the reason for that life update number 1 is that I have been really sick. I took a holiday hiatus, we'll call it, from basically Thanksgiving to now. There were a lot of reasons for that, a lot of reasons for that, but I'll get to that probably in the 2018 in review portion of the video. But I have been really sick, and I feel like a lot of my videos see? It's still happening. A lot of my videos seem to focus on my health, and so maybe this is something I should focus on for me in 2019. And we'll get to that in tomorrow's video. But for today, we're gonna do 2018 in review. I'm gonna try to not have this be like a 35-minute video. So I have my handy dandy list because I couldn't possibly remember the things that happened in my life if I didn't write them down, because my brain is a scramble. So I'm gonna be referencing this thing. We're gonna get started. I don't know how else to start this, but to just say, here we go. Maybe I should, no, I'm just gonna have to hold it. I'm gonna have to hold it. Is that okay? Is it okay if I hold it? I think it's okay. Okay. So this was technically 2017 by like 2 or 3 days, but I started 2018 with a new car, and by new, I mean new to me. It was not a new car. It was definitely new for me. I drove a 2002 Mercury Villager for about since 2002, and before that a 1995 Mercury Villager. So I literally have only been a minivan lady, and I got a new car, 2016 Kia Soul, right about New Year's of last year, and it has been the best thing that's happened. It's one of my favorite things in my life. I'm in love with my car. Got a feel for my automobile. It's yellow, and it was called Yellow. It makes me so happy every time I come out of Publix, which is a grocery store for those of you that are not Florida Southern types, and it just brightens my day. I feel like I'm spending too much time talking about the car. Let's move on to the next thing. I did some ukulele up in the aerial silk. And my love, he's stolen away. That was pretty early in last year. I had some milestones on Instagram because at this point last year, I wasn't really doing things on YouTube. I was uploading things. I wasn't talking in my videos, that's for sure, because that was weird. A year ago, if I had talked in a video, I would have been like, like I didn't talk in my videos a year ago. So Instagram milestones would have been, I got 2,000 followers. I did a collaboration with the amazing Christopher Davis Shannon. We did some tunes together. Share each day with me, each night, each morning. Say you love me. You know I do. Love me, that's all I ask of you. That was a lot of fun. Lots of shenanigans and bloopers. Love me, that's... I'm so sorry.
Oh, that was a really good one too.
Well, thank you for making me feel way better about that. I tried some German junk food. A friend of mine from Germany, Matis, we sent junk food back and forth for the holidays, and his package took about 7 weeks to get here, but I did finally get it, and then I made like a little taste video. I did not upload that publicly, mostly because it had some questionable content that I wouldn't want to be public since I am a teacher. So if you know me personally, then you got to see that video on my Facebook. Sorry to those of you that don't know me personally, you don't get to partake of the questionable language that was probably used in that tasting video. Maybe I'll show you a little snippet. Is this a snippet? Here comes the snippet.
Ooh. These look like stuffed mushrooms. They look like the stuff that you put inside stuffed mushrooms. Hey, if it tastes like a stuffed mushroom, I'm in. All right, here we go. Haselnuss. What is that? I was not expecting this. Holy moly. It does not taste like a stuffed mushroom.
Next milestone was I got 3,000 followers on Instagram. I was on a roll. I have written here that I had great hair in a video, which apparently is a milestone in my life. I think, yeah, there was this video. I was in Kansas City, Missouri doing a show, and I recorded a video in the hotel room, and for some reason, every time I scroll my feed, all I can look at is my hair in this video. So, see, this is why I can't sing. So attractive. I need a spittoon. And if there is one thing I have learned in this being sick thing, is that I have used the word spittoon more in the last 3 weeks than I have, I think, in my entire life. And maybe in the entire history of the word spittoon. I think I have said it and thought it and used it more than anything in the history of spittoons. Anyways, my great hair in this video. I don't know what they're putting in the water in Kansas City, Mo, but it made my hair look pretty fantastic, and I don't think my hair has ever looked that good ever again, and maybe it never did before. Shortly after that trip to Kansas City, Mo, my best friend Emily had a baby. Not just any baby, but her first baby. And so Jonah entered the world. We like to call them Jonah and the whale. Jonah being the baby, the whale at the time being my friend Emily when she was pregnant. She made that joke, not me, so I don't feel bad about making it. What else? Oh! I started doing multi-track videos. I'd never done a multi-track video. I did Superstition, some Stevie Wonder. That's in my throat, baby. Broke the looking glass. 7 years with some glockenspiel and some melodica. Then I got the idea of covering the Mentos theme song, and so I made this little Mentos commercial. Fresh goes better, Mentos freshness. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
And I actually got a shout out from Mentos on Twitter, which basically made my life. Then, oh boy. Then I embarked on the most ridiculous spring break of all time. When I travel, I have a tendency to try and pack as much into a trip as possible. This is something that I have inherited from my mother, who, as we like to say, likes to squeeze 16 ounces into a 12-ounce bottle. So this spring break trip that I went on started first with a blizzard. Not here in Florida, obviously, but getting to New York City. I was trying to get to New York City. I did a silks class there. I did a cover in Central Park. It's so cold. One love, one house. Hello. I took a mad dash bus ride out to New Jersey to visit some family. I did a cover with my niece and nephew at like 1 in the morning. Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't get out. Got me singing like na 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 every day. It's like an iPod stuck on replay, ay. And then I took a train to Philadelphia in the morning. First time in Philly, had a great time. Did another collab with Christopher Davis Shannon. Went to the Pennsylvania, it was a prison. It was the biggest, oldest, most amazing prison ever. Sentences I never thought I would say. I went to the Mutter Museum, which if you know me, you know I like the weird specimens and jars and medical history. I'm a total nerd. I stayed in an Airbnb for the very first time ever, which was a positive experience. Then I took a rally bus from Philly to Washington, D.C. so that I could march on Washington for the March for Our Lives, which was a really great experience. It was very moving. Then I took another rally bus back to Philadelphia. Well, I think I slept for like an hour and a half back at my Airbnb, and then I took a plane back to Orlando and went to school the next day. It's exhausting just talking about it. Then Instagram milestone 4,000 followers. And this is where it stopped. I plateaued so hard. I've literally stayed right there. And that was in like April, I think. So it's been quite the plateau on Instagram since then. And I think it was right around this time that I started doing more things on YouTube, which is probably why that plateau happened. I didn't stop caring, I just stopped showing that I cared. And right around that time, one of my Instagram followers from Japan started drawing me as a cat, which I didn't know that I wanted in my life, but once I had it, I realized that I was missing it. And so there are illustrations of me as a cat playing the ukulele. He also drew these cats that just by happenstance happened to look exactly like my cats. He put them on a mug and sent it to me. I have this mug. I should just go get the mug. All right, here's my mug. Look at them. These are my cats. I mean, they're not my cats. He just happened to draw cats that looked exactly like my cats. There's my fat boy, Donnie, and there's my quiet one, Elvie. She's playing a saxophone, and Donnie is playing the flute. I don't know why. I love this thing so much. And it says, Cat's Session with Cat Friends. My friends started blowing saxophone. A fun session. I like when things get lost in translation. So thank you to that. I wish I knew his name. Maybe I do know his name. Hey, you guys, Instagram has an iPad app now. Hey, it actually looks like an iPad app. I mean, I don't think I can I upload things? No, I can't upload things, but it doesn't look like the iPhone teeny tiny on my screen. That's excellent. Let's see. Yeah, okay, his name is Suyuga Hayashi. Oh, that was not okay. That was a really not okay pronunciation. Suyuga Hayashi. I will link that down below because I don't want to try and say it one more time. Back to the list. I had a contest. I had a 1-year anniversary contest of all of the stupid faces that I've made while I play, because apparently I have an expressive face when I sing. The winner was my Facebook and my Instagram and my YouTube profile avatar for a good 6 to 8 months, I think. I just was too lazy to take it down. Thanks for voting on that contest. Maybe I'll have another one this year. I survived my very first full year of teaching. I had started teaching the previous year in the middle of the year, which if you're not a teacher, you should know is like the hardest thing that you can do. Especially in a Title I school and being a first-year teacher, period. Starting in the middle of the year is hard for experienced teachers, but starting in the middle of the year for a first ever teacher, I don't know why I did that. But I made it. So then I came back for another year because again, I'm crazy. Very shortly after that, I did my first What's in My Bag video. You've probably watched a million of these and you didn't know how hard it is to make these videos. They take an eternity and they take even longer to edit. It took forever. I may never make another one, but the type A person in me, which is the person in me that takes up the most space, there really isn't a type B. If there's a type A person, they are this big, and if there's a type B person, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm doing. The type A person in me will probably make another one because seeing everything laid out was embarrassingly enjoyable for me. And the reason that I made that What's in My Bag video, I did 2 of them, was to talk about what I was bringing on my ridiculously long trip that I went on over the summer. I'm gonna try and encapsulate this trip in as few words as possible. So I went to 7 countries in 30 days. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. So that was my big long trip. Then I took a trip to Cleveland. I do this every year, where I go up to Cleveland and visit both my grandmothers and my stepmom and all of my family up there. That ended up being a very bittersweet trip because I went to go visit my paternal grandmother and played some ukulele for her. She was in a rest home at the time. She was dealing with a lot of dementia. And that ended up being like one of her last good days. She ended up passing away about 6 or 7 days after I left. And I'm so glad that I had that. I'm so glad that I had that with her. And so I came back a week later. That was the first funeral I'd ever spoken at. So that's definitely a milestone in my 2018. Not a happy one, but she was a very big part of my life. Miss her all the time. So there's that. I also had a student pass away in the same week. So that was like a really rough, period between being sick, dealing with all of that loss, and trying to get myself centered and ready for a school year. That was a really tough time, and so I didn't post a lot, and that was kind of the beginnings of me really struggling to keep this thing afloat that I'm doing here. I had my birthday in September, did a flavor party with my friends, which if you don't know what a flavor party is, it's where everybody gets together and tastes all of the food that Destiny brought back from all of the countries that she went to. We had a lot of fun with the flavor party. I have a whole bunch of footage from it that I've never put together, so maybe I'll put a clip or 2 here. How many do we give the disco bits?
I'm going 5.
Forget when you try that.
Jeremy really loves it.
Oh, this is. Happy birthday! Or the abadoodoo.
All right.
Don't redeem that.
I don't It's like those things that you get in the little machine for a quarter that stick on the wall.
Yeah, look at that. So gross.
Do it.
Like
Do it. Do it.
You didn't try it, Jim?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. All right.
I don't like mint at all. It's only from toothpaste.
Like them too.
Oh,
I don't know
not
what
the
they're trying
second
to
bite.
be, though.
Definitely not the second bite. I did my first star drop ever in Aerial Silks, which is terrifying. When I say my first star drop, I should qualify that that is my first successful star drop. I had tried to do it before summer, before I left for the trip, but I never was able to do it correctly. I'd always get caught and nearly kill myself halfway down.
Wide with the legs, wide, you set up. We don't want to sit up. Corrugate. Oh, we're almost there. Stay wide. Wide. Yes,
I was Snow White for Halloween, and then came wedding week. 3 weddings in 1 week. And wedding number 1 was Dan and Tiffany, and I did a cover for them. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. Wedding number 2 was my brother's, and I sang in his wedding up in Long Island. And then wedding number 3, Anna and Jeremy, the ones that I went to Amsterdam with. And so I did a cover for them. All you need is love. All you need is love. after wedding week and Thanksgiving came the holiday hiatus, which is what I'm just coming off of and hopefully is the end of the holiday hiatus. So there were several reasons for that. Reason number one was my health. I was really starting to feel the effects of some burnout and I needed to take something off my plate. So this is the thing that I took off of my plate. The second big reason was I had a huge exam that I needed to study for, which will be an entirely separate video, but basically it was a certification exam so that I can keep my job as a teacher, and it is notoriously difficult to pass. It's been in the news for a while here in Florida because teachers have to take it 4 or 5 times before they pass it. So it's super stressful, plus it costs like $225 to retake it if you fail it. I don't have $225 to spare. So I had to take that exam, took it, passed it, booyakasha. Then I had a big gig in Jacksonville at Palms Presbyterian where I sing with an orchestra, so I was resting my voice for that. What else was on my holiday hiatus? Oh, I was in my very first aerial showcase, which basically means I was performing aerial silks for the first time, and I was super nervous for that because with everything that was going on, my body was really taking a toll. I could feel it every week. I was really not sure if I was going to make it through that routine in front of an audience, but I did it and it went well.
And then I don't feel so bad.
And right as I came down from that performance, like literally walking off of the stage, is when all of this sickness started to happen. I went outside and coughed for about an hour straight and woke up the next morning with the most intense flu. Now, I took a flu test, which also, if you don't know, is the most miserable test to take. They have to take a pipe cleaner and stick it up your nose and poke around your brain a little bit. And then that's not enough. They have to do it on the other side. So double brain pokage, and then they do their testing microscopic situation. This is what microscopes look like, by the way. This is microscopes. And then they tell you if you have the flu. And I went through all of that, and of course, they say it's not the flu. But what do? They say, we're gonna treat it like the flu. But guess what? My kids have their big musical concert that week in 3 days. So I didn't have an option. I had to go to school. I had to be doing the rehearsals. We had dress rehearsals and tech rehearsals. First musical theater production at this school ever, which when you're Title I, that's a really, really big deal. So it wasn't an option. I had to be there, and I was so miserable, guys. I have never been so sick from the chest up. I've never been so sick, I think, in my life. And trying to control 150 kids between the ages of 5 and 10 while you're doing that, I still can't believe that I got through it. It was a success. It was more than a success. I got some amazing feedback from my administration, which means a lot to me, and that was about 10 days ago. I've been on the mend, and you can probably hear, I mean, I'm still not there. And I can't sing yet. That's the thing. Every time I try to sing, I just start coughing. So maybe in the next couple days. It's gotta be by Saturday because I've gotta sing in a concert on Saturday. So that's another reason why I'm trying to rest as much as possible, because I've gotta sing in front of people live without edits. And yeah, there's my 2018. And it is December 31st. Well, I hope it's December 31st when I post this, because I'm coming up on the 56-minute mark. I said I didn't want this video to be 30 minutes long, and it's 56 minutes long, uncut. Let's see if I can even whittle that down to 30 minutes. Oh my God. Yeah, so I hope that you have made it to the end of this video. This is maybe the longest one I've done so far. And I hope it's the longest one I ever do because this is insane. How am I going to whittle this down? I don't know. So I hope you had a great 2018. What were the highlights of your 2018? Leave a comment and let me know what your highlights were. Leave a comment and let me know what your favorite thing was that I did on this channel in 2018 and maybe what you'd like to see me do in the future. If you just want to wish me a happy new year, you could do that too. But the best way to wish me a happy new year is to give this a thumbs up and to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. Especially at New Year's with all this celebration, you could hit that ding-a-ling bell so that you get notifications when I start posting things again, because this holiday hiatus is coming to an end, my friends. It's gonna be done and I'm gonna be back. I promise. 2019, here I come.
It's time for outros and thank yous for watching. Now please like and subscribe. Please validate my existence by coming back soon.